In this video, we will delve into the Stoic principle of human nature as the foundation for understanding how to shape a better life and navigate through potentially perilous interpersonal relationships. As social beings, comprehending the motivations behind people's actions is a crucial tool in our possession. We will explore how different parts of the brain influence our decision-making, the art of handling emotions with composure, and effectively dealing with narcissistic individuals. Additionally, toxic traits in interpersonal relationships, the truths hidden behind people's masks, and an exploration of our inner darkness are essential themes we will analyze. Let us embark on this journey guided by the wisdom of Stoicism, unraveling the mysteries of human nature. Principle 1. Emotional self-mastery, unlocking a rational life with Stoic wisdom. You may be enthusiastic about constructing a conscious plan for life, pursuing the optimal path, yet not fully realizing the extent to which emotions govern your decisions and thoughts. Perhaps you believe you have complete control over your life, but is the reality truly as such? Emotions play a significant role in steering our lives, and the fluctuations in emotions and their detachment from reality are profound reasons behind poor decisions and negative thinking. Rationality is the force with which we counteract the influence of emotions. The first step towards becoming a rational individual is acknowledging the inherent irrationality of human beings. Throughout millions of years of evolution, organisms relied on instincts for survival, evolving into a perception of fear for some animals. Our brain evolved into a more advanced mammalian brain, divided into three parts. The oldest is the reptilian part, responsible for automatic control and bodily regulation, the source of our instincts. Next is the old mammalian brain, also known as the limbic system, governing our sensations and emotions. Lastly, situated above is the neocortex, the cognitive and language control part of the brain, where our rationality resides. However, communication and translation between these two parts of the brain often lead to inaccuracies, creating discrepancies between our emotions and cognition, resulting in our irrationality. The translation between emotions and cognition is not straightforward. Apparent anger may actually be an expression of jealousy. Animals may feel fear due to danger, while we often excessively immerse ourselves in fear, making it more significant than it actually is and causing long-term anxiety. Since emotions are always present, they inevitably influence our thinking. Rational individuals can recognize that detaching emotions from thinking aids in making rational decisions. On the other hand, irrational individuals may not even realize the role emotions play in their thinking, often making impulsive decisions or erupting in anger due to trivial discomfort. However, there is no need to overly worry, as there are ways to mitigate our inherent irrational thinking. Step 1. Recognize and understand your biases. The most common emotion is the desire for pleasure and the avoidance of pain, the root of all psychological biases. When confirming biases, we often overlook evidence contradicting our beliefs and focus only on evidence supporting our views. Balancing bias confirmation by simulating the opposing view helps in recognizing biases. Beliefs. When we invest so much energy in defending a belief, doubt arises. However, we may find ourselves in a situation where we feel compelled to defend a belief and believe in its truth. Appearance, halo effect. When someone exhibits positive qualities, we tend to believe that person possesses other positive qualities, even in the absence of substantial evidence. The same holds for negative qualities. Appearance can be deceptive. Group bias. Encountering others who share our views brings joy and comfort, while distancing from the group and differences brings disappointment. Groupthink is a phenomenon where people adopt views for the comfort and sense of belonging it provides. Blame bias. We inherently tend to blame others rather than face our own mistakes. This is the root of blame bias. Superiority bias. We all like to think of ourselves as likable, moral, and rational. However, this is not possible, as the world would be filled with peace if it were true. But the reality is different. Step 2. Beware of igniting irrational factors. Our thinking clings to emotions, becoming responsive rapidly. Here are some factors that might ignite your irrationality. Early triggers, sudden gains or losses, such as winning the lottery or losing everything, then losing a loved one again. Rising stress. Under stress, the primitive part of our brain becomes active. This is why soldiers and individuals attempting to join special forces reveal their true character under such high-pressure situations. Individual provocation. Certain individuals in life may trigger your irrational thinking in both positive and negative ways. Group. When surrounded by others, you may get caught up in collective emotions, evident in religious and political gatherings. Step 3. Implement strategies to unleash your rational self. Here are some strategies to become a more rational person. Understand that fundamentally, you are irrational, an emotional being enamored with ignorance. Examine the reasons for your reactions to stimuli in life. Increase reaction time. Step back, remove yourself from the situation, calm down, and allow a rational perspective to emerge. Stop trying to change others. Interaction with others is a major factor in our emotional turmoil. Trying to change people leads to frustration, so it's best to accept people as they are and strive to make efforts in the situation presented. If you desire more clarity and tranquility in life, mastering your emotions will be the first step towards a rational life. Principle 2. From narcissism to empathy, breaking the spectrum of self-focus, expanding interpersonal connections. Transforming self-love into empathy is a shift, as we are all narcissists, it's just that some are deeper on this spectrum. As social beings, we crave attention from the moment of birth. In order to gain attention, people can do almost anything, including committing crimes, attempting suicide, and getting involved in failed schemes. So, where do you stand on the spectrum of narcissism? If you are below the middle, you may fall into the category of deep narcissism. Being self-centered, reacting intensely, being filled with anger, seeking revenge, these are all ways to mask feelings of insecurity. If the conversation is not centered around you, you might give a cold stare or become impatient until the focus returns to you. You display high confidence, using it to attract attention, but mainly to conceal your incomplete self and fill the void within. For deep narcissists, attention is survival. If you are in the upper middle of the spectrum, you are a functional narcissist. Most people fall somewhere on this spectrum. You enjoy attention when it comes, but you don't always actively seek it. You can redirect your attention outward, listen to others, and not constantly pursue attention. A healthy narcissist is found here. At the top of self-focus is empathy. This is a complete investment in others rather than oneself. Healthy narcissists can imagine the perspectives of others, making it easier to build relationships, while deep narcissists often sink deeper over time, struggling to maintain and establish strong connections. To build your empathic skills, there are 4 main approaches. 1. Adopt an empathetic attitude. Don't assume you already understand others. Every new person you meet is like an undiscovered country with new chemical compositions waiting for you to explore. 2. Visceral empathy. Understanding others' thoughts can be challenging, but emotions are much easier to read. Pay attention to others' body language and tone. 3. Analytical empathy. As Abraham Lincoln once said, "I don't like that man. I must get to know him better." Don't shut yourself off to those who disgust you or those you know you disagree with. For empathic skills, becoming more empathetic is a process. To better understand others, you need feedback. You can do this by simply asking someone about their feelings and thoughts to see if your assumptions are correct. Empathy is primarily a mindset, a different way of building relationships with others. Types of narcissists. 1. Dominant narcissist. This type of narcissist is usually more ambitious and has higher energy levels than deep narcissists, but they are also more insecure. They are highly sensitive to any criticism, but they are good listeners, so you need to be careful because they can mimic empathy well. Everything they do is not for connecting with others, but for controlling and manipulating them. 2. Theatrical narcissist. Theatrical narcissists are masters of role-playing. They can play many different roles. They will do anything to appear moral and altruistic, and they enjoy immersing themselves in the role of the victim. Everything they do is to make others see and gain attention from it. 3. Healthy narcissist. Healthy narcissists are excellent emotional readers, able to capture hints from body language and tone. They possess high levels of optimism and confidence, which can be used to lead teams and boost morale. Principle 3. The art of penetrating masks, observation, decoding, impression management. The skill of seeing through people's masks, revealing the cracks in their true emotions, is a profound one. We all wear masks, presenting ourselves in the best light. Yet the extroverted photos on Facebook and Instagram often do not accurately depict someone's real life. Fortunately, our masks have cracks that disclose people's genuine emotions. These leaks can be noticed through non-verbal clues such as specific facial expressions, changes in tone, or tension in the body. Through mostly unconscious body language and tone, we can better understand the genuine emotions beneath others' masks. People are like the moon, they only show one side. Outer shepherds. If you want to present yourself in the best way possible and become a master at reading others, practice the following 3 skills. Observation skills. 1. Pay close attention to micro-expressions. These are momentary expressions like changes in smiles, shifts in tone, or body language that signals conflicting messages during a conversation. 2. Understand how someone operates under normal conditions or baseline, then compare it to how they operate under stress or excitement. 3. Observe others. Spend some time observing people's behavior in different situations, take notes, and also observe yourself. Remember the cracks in the masks we mentioned earlier, those flashes of micro-expressions. People may try their best to prevent these cracks from revealing their true feelings, but it's futile as they are largely completely unconscious and uncontrollable. To see through others' masks, you need to master the key to decoding. Key 1. Clues of likes and dislikes. Lips tightly closed. Eyes suddenly squinting or glaring. Stiff neck. Turning feet away during conversation. Crossing arms. Excessive body tension. These are all clues. If someone gives you praise or compliments, but their eyes don't light up, it could be a clue of hidden jealousy. Learn to differentiate between fake and genuine smiles. Genuine smiles engage the eyes, eyebrows, and cheeks. Key 2. Dominance and submission clues. Dominant individuals in a conversation often speak more and frequently interrupt. In a couple, it's easy to notice who the dominant one is. A dominant partner may only listen to half of what their partner says in a group conversation and engage in more eye contact with others in the group rather than their partner. Key 3. Deception clues. People attempting to hide facts tend to become more talkative and animated. Gestures of hands and arms may become more exaggerated. If you sense someone is trying to deceive you, let them keep talking as much as possible, then at the right moment, pose a direct question to see what micro-expressions your question elicits. The art of impression management. To excel in social situations, you can do the following. 1. Pay attention to your non-verbal clues, such as body language and tone. 2. Give genuine smiles, use friendly body language. 3. Ensure you create the right first impression. 4. Selectively make yourself absent and create mystery. 5. Make your behavior less predictable. 6. project virtues like morality and honesty. Principle 4. Character is destiny, assessing strength, avoiding toxicity. Character formation occurs early in childhood and is ingrained in daily habits. It is a deeply rooted trait within us. According to one's ability to cope with adversity, cooperate with others, patience, and learning capabilities, we can measure the strength of their character. As Heraclitus said, character is destiny. Our character is deeply imprinted within us, not controlled by spirits or deities, but determined by our character itself. You cannot remove your character, but it is possible to mitigate or stop negative patterns in life. Firstly, you need to understand your character and then learn to prioritize it as the most important thing. When choosing partners, collaborators, or intimate companions, character should take precedence over intelligence, beauty, and reputation. Over time, repeated behaviors are the main indicators of a person's character. Those with strong characters are not easily discouraged, they persist and are willing to accept new ideas. On the other hand, those with weak characters tend to feel overwhelmed, are unreliable, and unwilling to learn from others because it implies accepting criticism or flaws. The most significant indicators of people's characters are revealed through their prolonged behaviors. Toxic individuals need to be identified and avoided. These include: 1. Control freak, appears focused but cannot delegate tasks, must control every situation, in other words, a control freak. 2. Heartless rebel, dislikes authority, distrusts anyone in power. They cannot accept any criticism, and their behavior is often immature. 3. Individualist, highly sensitive and empathetic, but only in one direction, inward. They are sensitive to everything because they perceive everything as a personal attack. 4. Drama magnet, the only way to gain attention is to immerse themselves in drama and problems. They always find a way to become the victim in any situation. 5. Big talker, always boasting but never truly completes anything they start. In the end, they are just a waste of your time. 6. Sexualizer, possesses a rich sexual energy, usually derived from dark places. They tend to view every relationship as a potential path to gratify their desires. 7. Indulgent prince or princess, overindulged and excessively pampered during childhood. If they cannot get what they want, they may act like a child. 8. False virtue seeker, condemns something but secretly attracted to it. They appear virtuous, but have a secret dark side. Principle 5. Stimulate desire, become an elusive object of desire. We are often marked by a constant desire to possess what we don't have. This object is projected by our fantasies. The desire to have what we don't have is a human nature, and once we finally get this desire, our attention is diverted, and we start seeking something better. This is often referred to as the grass is always greener syndrome. Today, vulnerability and transparency are considered the paths to authenticity and honesty, letting people know all your likes, dislikes, fears, and loves, and believing that people should love and desire you for who you are. In reality, what people truly want is to be stimulated in their fantasies. However, if you become too familiar, there's no mystery, and there's no room for imagination. People's interest in you will be very weak. Don't follow the current moral values, which advocate honesty but at the cost of attractiveness. Here are 3 strategies to stimulate desire. 1. Know when and how to withdraw. Maintain some detachment, don't appear overly needy, and don't make your views, feelings, values, and tastes too obvious. You want to let others create an image of you in their imagination. Know when to withdraw, maybe for a day, maybe a week. Create some mystery around you. 2. Create desire through opposition. What we almost always want reflects what others want. A man who has been single for 5 years starts dating, and suddenly 2 other women become interested in him. or a child wants his brother's new toy. Creating an impression that you or your work is well received by others will attract others. 3. Use the induction method. Associate yourself with some slightly illegal, unconventional, or challenging things. Almost everyone desires to peek into others' private lives, give others the impression that you are sharing secrets that shouldn't be known, and may cause some anger but more curiosity. These secrets need to be novel and exotic. Finally, dangle something in front of people that is hard to reach, like offering a shortcut, wealth, or a fountain of youth. Remember, possession does not compel action, desire does. Focus on the internal, find what you truly desire, and then follow those desires. Do not let yourself be distracted by others chasing you or trying to influence your direction. Time in life is limited. Rule 6. The art of influence, alleviating resistance through self-concept acknowledgement. In the realm of human interaction, the innate desire for autonomy and mastery over one's existence is paramount. Individuals harbor a set of self-concepts and cognitions, for which they are willing to engage in battle to safeguard. These self-concepts manifest through 3 universal traits. 1. Autonomy. The belief in autonomous action and possessing free will is a cherished notion. Even when under the sway of manipulation or conformity to group pressure, individuals resist acknowledging external influences on their decision-making. The perception of coercion often triggers defiance. 2. Intelligence. No one willingly entertains the idea that they might be gullible or possess subpar intellectual capabilities. Fostering an impression that the other party holds superior views on a subject can create a sense of slight superiority, thereby diminishing defenses and increasing receptivity to alternative perspectives. 3. Benevolence and integrity. A prevalent inclination is the belief in one's inherent goodness and moral rectitude. Linking personal needs to a larger, virtuous cause reinforces this positive self-belief. Reminding individuals of their past benevolent actions fortifies the notion of inherent goodness. Understanding these 3 universal self-concepts enhances one's ability to influence others. It is crucial never to push individuals into situations that may trigger defense mechanisms related to their self-concepts. Employ the following strategies to persuasively engage individuals while avoiding the activation of their defensive psychology. 1. Transform into a profound listener. Amidst the clamor of self-concerns, individuals appreciate genuine listeners. Consider every person you interact with as an unexplored territory, teeming with hidden surprises. Identify their interests, discern clues from facial expressions, and delve deeper into their thoughts. The more they speak, the more you unravel their desires and insecurities. 2. Convey appropriate emotions. People are delicate to the emotions projected by others. A relaxed and amiable demeanor fosters comfort. Subtle physical gestures, such as a gentle pat on the arm, establish rapport. However, exercise caution with prolonged eye contact, as it may be interpreted as suggestive. 3. Confirm their self-concepts. Appeal to their sense of autonomy by invoking their independence. If assistance is required, frame it as an extension of what they've always excelled at, avoiding any perception of manipulation. For intelligence, subtly present their viewpoint as superior, fostering a mild sense of superiority and reducing their guard. To affirm benevolence and integrity, align your needs with a larger, virtuous narrative, reminiscing about their past altruistic deeds. 4. Address their insecurities. Once identified, handle their insecurities with care. Avoid triggering them and instead offer praise and acknowledgement for their positive qualities. 5. Harness resistance and stubbornness. Constructively use emotions, language, and their inherent stubbornness. Respond in their language, as diverting people from their own vocabulary is challenging. Stubbornness often stems from a fear of uncertainty and change. If dealing with a rebellious personality, reverse psychology can guide them towards the desired direction. The essence of wielding influence lies in directing attention towards others, making them the focal point. Much like the physical body, the mind tightens with age. Yet, maintaining a mental flexibility akin to childhood, coupled with the reasoning prowess of adulthood, creates a mindset both agile and sagacious. As time advances, minds tend to close to novel ideas. Envision your thoughts and viewpoints as building blocks, play with them, experiment, discard some, retain others, or acquire new ones. Do not cling rigidly to your ideas, instead, foster a spirit of flexibility and intrigue. Lastly, cultivate self-awareness, recognizing that you are not as virtuous as your self-concept leads you to believe. Succumbing to advertising influence, conforming to group ideologies, and being susceptible to manipulation are inherent human vulnerabilities. Distance yourself from rigid self-concepts, scrutinizing how they shape your cognitive landscape. Rule 7. Alter your attitude, transform life circumstances. Not only must you recognize the role your attitude plays, but you must also believe in its supreme power to change your circumstances. The lens through which you perceive and interpret the world around you dictates your attitude. If you consistently view situations through a negative lens and harbor fear, you inadvertently conjure the very scenarios you fear most. The two general attitude categories are negative and narrow-minded, or positive and open-minded. Individuals with a negative and narrow-minded disposition are often fraught with fear, seeking to control and limit what they perceive and experience. Conversely, those with a positive and open-minded attitude embrace novelty and approach new ideas with an open mind. If you wish to alter your life circumstances, you must first transform your attitude. Here are 5 narrow or negative attitudes you need to overcome. 1. Hostile attitude, perceiving the world as hostile. Individuals with a hostile attitude seek hostility in an attempt to safeguard themselves. In their minds, the world is unfavorable to them, leading them to blame others and fostering an atmosphere of defensiveness or aggression. Beware of this attitude. Manage your animosity by telling yourself positive affirmations such as "I like this person" or "This person is intelligent" when encountering someone new. 2. Anxious attitude. Individuals with an anxious attitude ultimately fear losing control of situations. They prefer micromanagement and exerting control over others. To deal with anxiety, convert this negative energy into productivity, minimizing perfectionism and controlling tendencies. If dealing with someone possessing this attitude, avoid succumbing to it, remain calm and be a soothing influence. 3. Doubtful attitude. Those plagued by doubts about their intelligence or capabilities typically perceive the world through their insecurities. Fearing a blow to their self-esteem, they shun responsibilities or challenges. Exercise caution when forming partnerships with such individuals. If you sense a hint of this attitude within yourself, motivate by taking on small projects and ensuring their completion to diminish this fear. 4. Despondent attitude. This attitude carries a sense of unworthiness and unlovability. Individuals with a despondent attitude tend to betray, criticize, and hurt others to satisfy their feelings of despondency. Any signs of success or progress are often self-sabotaged before full realization. People are drawn to those with this attitude in an attempt to assist them. However, this often results in criticism and eventual abandonment. Never attempt to uplift individuals with this attitude by showcasing the beauty of life. Instead, subtly guide them towards positive experiences. 5. Resentful attitude. Those harboring resentment feel wronged, perceiving oppressors everywhere. Individuals with more possessions are symbolic of injustice, and any criticism or disrespect towards them is taken seriously. They may not express anger overtly, but prefer to perpetuate emotional corrosion. Avoid dealing with individuals possessing this attitude, if possible. If you find yourself inclined towards resentment, learn to let go of grudges. preferably erupting in anger at the moment rather than lingering in negative emotions created in your mind. A positive, optimistic attitude is akin to becoming a thought explorer. Discard certainties, experiment with new ideas, and relish challenging yourself with fresh perspectives. Adversities and pains are often beyond your control, but you can learn to control your reactions and emotions to any situation. Refuse to accept and impose limitations on yourself as you age. If you believe you cannot do something, you create a self-fulfilling cycle. Your attitude plays a monumental role in your health. Falling in love or finding excitement in work invigorates you and accelerates recovery from illness. Conversely, feelings of despondency or anxiety yield opposite effects. Do not take what others say or do to you too seriously. They are merely safeguarding themselves from their negative emotions. Rule 8. Confront the darkness within. Become a truer self. Most of the time, people are not as they appear on the surface. We all have a hidden, dark side that we keep concealed to fit in with the group, to feel respected and liked. This dark side encompasses selfishness and aggressive impulses. Renowned psychologist Carl Jung referred to this as the shadow, residing in our subconscious, but it may seep through when we are under stress or in an unsafe environment. As we age, our dark side becomes more apparent. Here are notable signs of the dark side. 1. Contradiction, advocating rules but violating them. 2. Emotional outbursts, easily losing self-control. 3. Vigorous denial, for instance, opposing homosexuality while secretly desiring it. 4. Over-idealization, using justifiable reasons to act in unjustifiable ways. 5. Unexpected behavior, getting drunk and revealing true emotions. 6. Blaming others, accusing others of desiring sex, money, or power when they have these desires themselves. To conceal the shadow, we cultivate emphasized personality traits that often mask the opposing traits we wish to hide. Here are 7 of the most common emphasized personality traits. 1. Tough guy, projecting a threatening demeanor to conceal vulnerability. 2. Saintly figure, displaying purity and goodness, but quickly abusing power once tasted. 3. Zealot, leaving a lasting impression with their zeal and dedication, but failing to fulfill promises. 4. Passive-aggressive charmer, overly friendly initially, but gossiping about others behind their backs. 5. Stereotypical rationalist, fearing irrationality, using intellect to bully those they perceive as less intelligent. 6. Snob, extremely afraid of mediocrity, exhibiting a sense of superiority. 7. Extreme entrepreneur, paying extreme attention to details, seemingly valuing independence, but unable to listen and delegate, ultimately leading to failure. In reality, they yearn for others to take care of them. When you become aware of the shadow and bring it into the light, it loses its power. Then, you can control, guide, and integrate it into your life. By doing so, you become more attractive, authentic, and creative. You can become an integrated individual by following these steps. 1. See the shadow, identify and monitor what makes you feel sensitive and insecure. Understand when your shadow manifests and what you are trying to hide. 2. Embrace the shadow. Do not suppress or ignore your shadow, it is a part of your personality. 3. Explore the shadow. Explore your dark impulses and primal nature. If your shadow emerges in dreams or dark thoughts, do not try to ignore it. Play with these thoughts and channel that energy into your work. 4. Showcase the shadow. Use the shadow as your ally. If someone stands in your way, respect your opinions more, care less about others' opinions, be firmer, and compromise less. Finally, do not be afraid to use the shadow to offend or even hurt those who have ill intentions or unjustly criticize you. Proudly display your shadow. The more you suppress it, the darker and uglier it becomes. Ultimately, as we face the dark side within on the stage of life and courageously bring it into the light, we begin to understand the essence of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism advocates accepting the uncertainty of life, understanding the complexity of human nature, and achieving inner integration and growth by delving into our own shadows. As emphasized by Stoic philosophy, we can cultivate a more serene, rational, and inclusive mind by examining our attitudes, behaviors, and inner impulses. Thank you, dear friends, for your companionship and listening on this journey. If any views in this article have brought you a spark of inspiration or ignited contemplation on your inner world, I sincerely appreciate your time and attention. Through sharing and discussion, let us collectively explore the mysteries of the human psyche, aiding each other in becoming more genuine and complete selves. If you have any feedback or thoughts on this article, please feel free to share your valuable opinions in the comments section. Additionally, if you feel this article is beneficial to you or others, please share it generously. Following, liking, commenting, or reposting are all excellent ways to support us. Let us join forces to become thinkers and practitioners of life, creating a more enriching and meaningful existence. Thank you for your companionship, and I look forward to meeting you again in future journeys. May you gather more wisdom and joy in your life. Once again, thank you, and best wishes for all.